The Bell Witch is one of the most infamous and enduring legends in American folklore, involving a mysterious, malevolent spirit that terrorized the Bell family from Adams, Tennessee, in the early 19th century. The story has fascinated historians, paranormal enthusiasts, and skeptics alike for over 2 centuries, blending supernatural events with historical fact. The Bell family patriarch, John Bell, and his wife Lucy moved with their children from North Carolina to the Red River region of Tennessee, which is now known as Adams, around the year 1804. The Bells were a prosperous family, and John acquired a large plot of farmland. For over a decade, life went on as normal for the Bell family in their new home. The troubles began in the year 1817 when strange and inexplicable events started to occur on the Bell property. It started with small, eerie occurrences. John Bell noticed strange animals in the fields, including a peculiar dog-like creature with the head of a rabbit. He tried to shoot it, but the creature disappeared. Soon, more bizarre events unfolded. Unexplained knocking sounds began to reverberate through the walls of the Bell home, and eerie noises filled the air, including disembodied voices, chains being dragged across the floor, and scratching noises. At first, the family kept the incidents to themselves, hoping that the strange disturbances would eventually stop. However, as the phenomena increased, they could no longer ignore what was happening. The spirit's activities escalated from mere noises to physical aggression, particularly targeting John Bell and his youngest daughter, Betsy. One of the most puzzling aspects of the Bell Witch legend is the nature of the spirit itself. It was described as a shapeshifter, capable of appearing in different forms, sometimes as a woman, sometimes as an animal. It was also said to be highly intelligent and capable of speech. This was unlike most ghost stories, where spirits rarely, if ever, communicate in such a direct manner. The Bell family and visitors to their home claimed that the entity referred to itself as Kate, and it seemed to possess a sinister vendetta against John Bell. It tormented him relentlessly, sometimes physically assaulting him by pulling his hair, slapping his face, or leaving marks across his body. The spirit also attacked Betsy, pulling her hair, leaving bruises, and occasionally pinching her. Kate's voice grew stronger over time, and it began engaging in lengthy conversations with the family and visitors, further enhancing its notoriety. Despite its malevolent behavior, Kate exhibited moments of kindness, especially towards Lucy Bell, John's wife. Lucy was said to have been treated with a rare tenderness by the spirit, and when Lucy fell ill, the witch even showed concern for her well-being, offering remedies and showing compassion. As the Bell Witch's activities became more pronounced, word of the strange happenings spread throughout the community, drawing the attention of neighbors, the clergy, and curious visitors. Many of these individuals would come to the Bell home to witness the supernatural events for themselves, and they were rarely disappointed. Witnesses reported seeing objects move on their own, hearing the spirit's disembodied voice, and experiencing otherworldly phenomena. The spirit Kate seemed to enjoy performing for the growing audience, further entrenching itself into local lore. One of the most famous visitors to the Bell property was future President Andrew Jackson. Jackson had heard of the haunting and was intrigued by the tales. In the year 1819, he traveled to Adams with a group of men to investigate the rumors for himself. The story goes that Jackson's wagon approached the Bell farm, and then it suddenly stopped, and the horses refused to move. After some time, a disembodied voice reportedly declared, quote, "All right, General, let the wagon move on. I see you tonight." Jackson and his men were allegedly subjected to a night of supernatural torment. According to various accounts, the spirit slapped and harassed some of Jackson's men, challenging them to duel-like confrontations. Jackson, apparently amused and fascinated by the events, reportedly stated that he would rather fight the British than the Bell Witch. While there is no documented proof of Jackson's visit, the story has become a key part of the Bell Witch legend. As the years went on, the Bell Witch's torment of the family, particularly John Bell and Betsy Bell, continued to intensify. Betsy, who was by then a teenager, had become romantically involved with a young man named Joshua Gardner. However, the spirit vehemently opposed the match, and its aggressive behavior towards Betsy worsened whenever Gardner was present. Eventually, under the spirit's relentless pressure, Betsy broke off the engagement. John Bell's health began to deteriorate rapidly, and it became clear that he was the primary target of the spirit's wrath. The witch would often declare her intention to kill him, referring to him as the Old Jack. In 1820, John Bell became bedridden due to a mysterious illness. The spirit continued to mock him, taunting him, and cursing him as he lay dying. On December 20th, 1820, John Bell died, and the family discovered a strange vial of liquid near his body. The contents of the vial were tested on a cat, which died instantly after ingesting it. The spirit then gleefully claimed that it had poisoned John Bell, fulfilling its long-promised intention. John Bell's funeral was reportedly marred by the spirit's presence, as it laughed and sang during the solemn event, a final act of disrespect toward the man it had tormented for years. After John Bell's death, the spirit's visits became less frequent. It had supposedly achieved its goal and seemed to lose interest in tormenting the family. However, it did not disappear entirely. According to the legend, Kate informed the family that she would leave but promised to return in 7 years. True to its word, the spirit allegedly reappeared in 1828, primarily interacting with John Bell Jr. during a series of conversations about life, the afterlife, religion, and philosophy. However, after these brief visits, the spirit departed again, this time supposedly vowing to return 107 years later, in 1935. There were no major recorded disturbances in 1935, though some locals claimed to experience strange phenomena in the area during that time. Despite the lack of verifiable evidence for a later return, the legend of the Bell Witch continued to grow and became a fixture of American folklore. The story of the Bell Witch has inspired numerous theories and interpretations over the years. Some believe that the haunting was the result of a poltergeist or malevolent spirit, while others suggest more rational explanations for the events. One popular theory that the disturbances were caused by human trickery, possibly by a member of the Bell family or by a neighbor with a vendetta against John Bell. Another theory says that the Bell Witch legend is an example of mass hysteria, with the family's fear and stress manifesting in exaggerated or imagined supernatural occurrences. Skeptics also point out that many details of the story are based on oral tradition and may have been embellished or distorted over time. A more historical explanation involves a local woman named Kate Batts, a neighbor of the Bells, who was rumored to have had a falling out with John Bell over a land deal. Some versions of the story claim that Batts was accused of witchcraft and sought revenge on the Bell family, though there is little concrete evidence to support this claim. The legend of the Bell Witch has endured for over 200 years, and it remains one of America's most well-known ghost stories. It has been the subject of numerous books, documentaries, and fictional adaptations, including the 2005 film An American Haunting, which dramatized the events surrounding the Bell Witch. The story has also become a popular topic in paranormal circles, with many researchers and ghost hunters visiting the area to investigate the supposed hauntings. Today, the Bell Witch Cave, located near the former Bell family farm, is a popular tourist attraction, drawing visitors interested in the paranormal and the history of the legend. The cave is said to have been one of the spirit's hiding places, and strange phenomena are still reported by those who explore it. The Bell Witch legend has also influenced broader American folklore, serving as an example of the country's unique blend of supernatural beliefs and frontier history. The story of the Bell Witch has fascinated generations with its blend of the supernatural and the real, rooted in the lives of an ordinary family caught in the extraordinary circumstances. Whether it's viewed as a genuine haunting, or a cautionary tale, or a piece of American mythology, the Bell Witch legend remains one of the most enduring ghost stories in the United States. Its legacy lives on not only in the hills of Tennessee, but in the collective imagination of those drawn to the eerie and the unexplained.